I'm going to talk about my story in the Amazon, and specifically with this, what Danielle just talked to you about. I'm going to start about 4 years ago. August 2019, São Paulo, 3 p.m., no eclipse. The sky went black. I imagine some of you were there to see this scene. This was the smoke of the Amazon for the first time reaching São Paulo. The Amazon was burning at an unprecedented rate. And finally, the people of the biggest city in Latin America were seeing it for the first time, that actually this was real. For me, this was a wake-up call. I had been struggling with this idea for a long time, and that was kind of when I decided to quit my daytime job. I used to own a tour operator called Matuete in Brazil, and decided that I needed to do something more intense in the Amazon. We have already lost 20% of the forest. Many scientists say that if we reach 25%, we reach a tipping point where the forest will no longer be able to sustain itself. This has all happened in my lifetime. I'm 50 years old, and we've done this damage in this amount of time. If we extrapolate, we don't have much time left. We have, at the best, 10 years to reverse this. A lot of people have difficulties understanding big numbers. What does 20% of the Amazon actually mean? So this is a good analogy. Imagine a highway, 1 kilometer wide, 1 kilometer. It would take 15 minutes to cross. If this was the width of the deforested area of the Amazon, where would this highway reach? We are in Cuenca right now. So, would it be São Paulo, 4,200 kilometers away? Would it be London, 9,500 kilometers away? Or would it be Beijing, 15,600 kilometers away? To the moon and back. This is the area of the Amazon we have lost, people. And this just in Brazil. Just think about this. How can we do this damage to the planet? And no one really knows this. Come on, we are the travel industry. We're supposed to know geography. We're supposed to know what's happening in the world. But see how ignorant we all are. We need to change this very fast. And look, it's very hard to change this. All economic models of the Amazon require the forest to be removed. We have no use for the forest. Everything we do requires cattle, soya, everything we do, minerals. The first thing we need to do is chop it all down. And of course, it's a very difficult problem to tackle, but I want to focus on one main problem. We can't start if people don't know more about this. How can we defend something if we have no knowledge and we have no visceral connection? We have no heart and no mind. So what we need to do as a first step is to change people's attitudes. And we can only do this with changing their consciousness about the Amazon. So I decided 4 years ago that I was going to go all in the Amazon. So I have a few initiatives. One of them, which is the reason I'm here at Remote, I have a boat company in a very beautiful region of the Amazon called the Tapajós River, blue water Amazon, beaches. What we try and do here is the innovation as a concept is to flip the concept of who the client is. The travel industry normally regards the traveler as our client. What we try and do is to think of the Amazon and the people of the Amazon as our client, and the traveler as our sponsor. This subtle change changes everything into how we think and how we operate. And our secret mission is to transform how each person who travels with us into an Amazon caretaker by giving them the connection and the knowledge of what's going on. But I'm not here to talk about Kayara. You can reach me at my table. I'm here to talk to you about this, which is what is really my life's mission, is to create a new generation of Amazon activists called the Movimento Refloresta. It started only this year, and the aim is to take young people from all over the world. We're starting in Brazil. Next year is still going to be Brazil, but the year after it's going to go global, to form a connection with the Amazon. And the idea is to take as many young people as possible. This can only really happen in scale. So this was a picture of the first group. And what do we do? The first thing is we need to insert these people, young adults. I want to talk directly to them, not to their parents, which is why we choose this age group. We want them to be knowledgeable. We want them to be able to talk about the Amazon. We want them to become the focal points of information about the Amazon in their networks, wherever they are. We also create a network between them, and it's so beautiful to see this forming, these people actually connecting and talking to each other. But above all, and as a travel professional, I know what it means. We have to take them there. Once they go, their life changes. How we do this? Well, community-based tourism is the pillar of our project. We can only do this in scale and at a reasonable cost if we host these kids in communities. So we have a bunch of communities that we are already working with, and we have prepared to be able to receive these young people there. And approximately 70% of the cost of this goes directly to the community. So it transforms the community as well. It transforms how they see tourism. It transforms their income possibilities. When I set this up, one thing I didn't really envision, but has become perhaps the most powerful thing of all, is what it has done to the young people of these communities. We have a problem in the Amazon, and I guess all over, with young people leaving their communities. They prefer to have terrible jobs in big cities rather than stay and lead the lifestyles of their parents. But if we start taking young people there from around the world, and they start seeing and talking, wow, your place is amazing, they kind of re-signify what they can do for their community. And it's really beautiful to see what's happening with the young people of these communities actually transforming their relationship with their parents, with their leaders, with their communities, and young people becoming young leaders in their villages. So this can only work, as I said, if it reaches scale. Our mission, our dream, is to reach a scale of 1,000 people per year in small groups of between 12 and 18. And the concept is who can pay will pay. And there are scholarships for those who can't. Financed, well, there's many financing opportunities around the world for education and Amazon, and we're tapping into these, and it's super exciting to see that this is really a possibility. We have a target price of $800 to $900 per week, all inclusive, plus the airfare to get there. So it's supposed to be affordable, it's non-profit, everything we get is supposed to just foster the possibility of taking more people there. So these are photos of our latest journey. I'm not going to talk too much about everything we do there, but it's really about them. It's an immersion, it's a journey, it's not tourism. It's them actually understanding how the Amazon rolls, how the people live, and with that, connecting with themselves, right? Reforesting first their minds and their spirits so that they can reforest their ways of life. At the moment, we are now fundraising, for example, for the transformation of the community center of this village. So the kids went there, they saw that the community center was in shambles in this village, and they took it upon themselves to completely redo it. One of the kids was an architecture student, so he's doing the new project, and we're now funding, and we've kind of got 70% of the funds. So if anyone is feeling very generous and wants to help, we're very eager. And the objective is to, in January, we're going to inaugurate the new community center with the first indigenous arts festival of the Arapiuns River. Very beautiful. 14th of January. I will send picture to the remote community of that moment. I want to finish. Someone asked, but why is the Amazon so important? Why focus on this region? And I wasn't able to answer that specifically, beyond the obvious. But I found a good reason, which is this. Has anyone seen this map? This is the world map, which puts the continents in scale in terms of how much life per square meter each place in the world generates. So, quantity of carbon per square meter, how much live matter in a square meter. So I think it's pretty obvious that we are in a very blessed continent, that Latin America is the place where more life is produced in the world. And for me, there's nothing more precious than life. So this is why we need to preserve life and the Amazon and our planet. So thank you very much. Please help preserve the Amazon.